जय झूलेलाल जय झूलेलाल सभिनीनि खे नमस्ते हरिओम सत श्री अकाल। सिंधी हेरिटेज फाउंडेशन ऐं दादू ज़ैन हांगकांग प्रेज़ेंटिंग संस्कार। संस्कार में अॼु असां जेको मुदो था खयूं उहो आहे एस्ट्रोलॉजी एंड असांजी लाइफ। असांजे जनम खां वठी मृत्यु ताईं हर हिकु शइ में असां मुहूर्त ॾिसंदा आहियूं। हाणे जीअं जनम थियो त छठीअ लाइ, उन खां पोइ वरी मुनण, वरी जणिया, शादी, ऐं उन खां पोइ अगरि कुझु घर जो मुहूर्त हुजे या कुझु शुभ कम हुजे त असां हर हिक में मुहूर्त ॾिसंदा आहियूं ऐं उहे मुहूर्त थींदा आहिनि डिपेंड अपॉन एस्ट्रोलॉजी, ग्रह, नक्षत्र ऐं अलॻि अलॻि गणतियुनि ते। उहे सॼियूं गणतियूं कीअं थींदियूं आहिनि ऐं एस्ट्रोलॉजी सां असांजे दैनिक जीवन में छा प्रभाव थो पड़े, उनजा प्लस पॉइंट छा आहिनि, माइनस पॉइंट छा आहिनि। इवन कोई माण्हू गुज़ारे वञे त असां पहिरीं चेक कंदा आहियूं भई ही माण्हू पंचक्रियुनि में त कान गुज़ारे वियो आहे। त इन सभिनी जिज्ञासुनि खे ॾिसंदे सिंधी हेरिटेज, मां हिंदीअ में ॻाल्हाईंदुसि, सिंधी हेरिटेज आज जो एपिसोड लेके आई है वो है एस्ट्रोलॉजी के ऊपर। और एस्ट्रोलॉजी जो है हमारा, उसका जन्म से लेके मृत्यु तक हम उस पर डिपेंड रहते हैं। जैसे जन्म के टाइम पे क्या टाइम था वो उसको नोट किया जाता है, उसी तरह मृत्यु के टाइम पे भाई ये आदमी पंचक्रियों में तो नहीं एक्सपायर्ड हो गया, उसका भी ध्यान रखा जाता है। तो शादी हो या हमारे घर पे मुंडन हो या घर का मुहूर्त हो, दुकान का मुहूर्त हो, हर एक चीज में मुहूर्त जो देखा जाता है वो एस्ट्रोलॉजी के ऊपर डिपेंड होता है। भारत देश जिसने आर्यभट्ट ने खोज की थी जीरो की, अगर जीरो नहीं होता तो आज वर्ल्ड में ये एक से लेके जो हम काउंट करते हैं करोड़ों मिलियंस, ये कुछ ही नहीं होता। भारत ने ही जीरो दिया और जीरो से ही भारत हीरो बना। तो एस्ट्रोलॉजी जो है वो हमारे जीरो और गिनतियों के ऊपर है। तो मैं आमंत्रण दूंगा हमारे बीच में आज श्री दयाल हरजाणी साहब को, जो हांगकांग से हमारे साथ हरदम जुड़ते हैं और हमारे गाइडेंस देते हैं और अपने मन की बात भी करते हैं। और ये जो एपिसोड चल रहे हैं संस्कार, वो चलाने के लिए नई नई आइडिया और क्या क्या करने का है। जैसे लास्ट वीक जो उन्होंने डायबिटीज के ऊपर किया था, उसको रिकॉर्ड तौर आदमियों ने पूरे वर्ल्ड में इस प्रोग्राम को देखा था। वेलकम दादा दयाल हरजाणी।
जय झूलेलाल, Hariom to the SANSKAAR family all over the world. And today we are going to start off with a prayer, considering the world is going through a crisis, a precarious situation. So today we will start with a small mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasayantu, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःख भाग भगवेत्। ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति. With this prayer, I feel that if we can give a good vibration to the world leaders to decide correctly and decide in a dharmic way to bring about a peaceful situation as soon as possible, and avoid exploitation and suffering of the people. So God bless them and hope we will have a better news by tomorrow. So today we are going to welcome Sachin Vaidya. Can you bring Sachin Vaidya on the screen?
Pranam.
Sachin Vaidya, welcome to our Sanskar program. And I would like to introduce you to everyone. Sachin Vaidya is a mechanical engineer by education. He's a farmer by hobby, an entrepreneur by profession with a handsome and successful career.
Yeah.
Then he came in contact with Osho and the subject matter of Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, which is a very famous book on Shiva Tantra. And he met Sri Goenka uh, later on at Igatpuri, from where he got a lot of information and knowledge about various aspects of meditation. After practicing Vipassana, he came across Jyotisha, Shastra, and luckily he found his guru Pandit Sanjay Rath of Jagannath Puri and took a serious, intense course for several years. And now, today, he would like to share his knowledge and his experience and give us his experience for us to follow how much of astrology to incorporate in our life and which aspect of astrology has benefited him. So, before we start the question and answer dialogue with the panel speakers, I would like to welcome the whole international family and also um, Sachin Vaidya with our traditional doha from Kabir Sahib's book, Kabir Speaks. Uh, I don't want to advertise my own book, but it's written since many years, and I'm in a way proud to have written this book. So anyway, inner pride, not arrogant pride. So Kabir Sahib says, "पहला बुरा कमाई करी, पहला बुरा कमाई करी, बांधी विष की पोट, बांधी विष की पोट, कोटि करम फिल पलक में, आयो हरि की ओट," which means Kabir Sahib is saying, first you earn in dire sin, and a poisonous bag upon yourself you install. In a moment, countless deed unable recant, when you receive Hari's urgent call. Now, this is an English translation by Dadu to Kabir's Doha with a perfect English rhyme. But what it means, this couplet is a stern warning to all of us to conduct ourselves in a righteous manner, that our earning should not be ill-gotten. It should be income from dharmic deeds, from dharmic acts. Because when the last call comes from Lord Hari, Narayan, it will be without any notice. And at that time, when it comes without notice, you will not have the time to count your blessings or your misdeeds or have a time to repent or seek forgiveness. So, Sahib is saying, bhai, please conduct yourself correctly and without any problem or without hurting anybody. And finally, he says, पाव पालक की शुद्ध नहीं, पाव पलक की शुद्ध नहीं, करे काल की साज, काल अचानक मारसी जो तीतर को बाज. Means we human beings are not aware of many things, but yet we plan so much for tomorrow. But death upon you shall sweep you as a partridge by a hawk. Teeter is partridge, right? And a hawk. So this is how we have to be prepared in life, that not to make grand plans for tomorrow. We really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But live for today and live rightly, correctly, and with love and compassion for the human being. Now I will call upon the panel speakers. Can you call on Hani?
Yeah.
Hani
I request Hani Pamnani, Mrinal Kulkarni, and Shri Vishal Wadwani.
Now, Hani, I already introduced you last time, but I will say once again, Hani Pamnani is a public policy professional working with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship in New Delhi. Hani, welcome to the show. And Hari Om, you're doing okay? I see you got a new pair of glasses, huh? And of course, next we have Vishal Wadhani. He's an asset advisor of real estate, covering residential and commercial properties in Mumbai, London, Greece, and Cyprus, with a 25 years experience in the field. And last but not the least is Runal Kulkarni. She's my online teacher, and she's been really something phenomenal in teaching me. And sometimes I feel sorry for her to have a student like me, where everything is why, and the whole session goes on asking why. But anyway, we will let her uh,
You're right.
talk about. She's specialist in predictions based on birth chart and conducts online astrological courses. And she has been introduced to me by her very close friend called Rupendra Verma, who had come earlier on our show and gave a good show last time and entertained many of the people. So, may I now start uh, giving the mic or the floor to Hani to ask question to Sachin Vaidya, please. 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes for three questions. Go ahead.
Sure. Hariom, Harshi, pleasure
Namaskar.
to have you on Dais, and thank you to the entire Sindhi Heritage Foundation for giving this wonderful platform to discuss such an interesting topic. So, Harshi, first of all, like to understand from you that as we understand in layman language that Kundli is kind of a map of our previous karmas, and that is something that we have to live through in this life, wherein there are spiritual gurus like Sadguru who say that karm se bhagya banta hai, or destiny as in has limited role there. So we would like to understand the balance from you. कितना कर्म से भाग्य बनता है और कितना हमारे हाथ में है and कितना predestined है.
Okay. So this is a very good question actually, and this is the right question to ask to any new astrologer you are going, saying that because you need to judge astrologer when you are going, you cannot be blind. So what happens is when we are born, there are certain map or the positions of different grahas. What Kundli shows is that map only. So for a common man, it just shows which graha is positioned where. But as you know, human life is all made up of energy and its balances. If you do little bit of meditation, you will realize that all body is full of energy. It is all energy which plays a major role. Like example, solar energy, nuclear energy, which for us layman, as well as growth energy, which comes from moon. There is a saying, old saying with our household, that the kid grows in night time, right? They say that the good night's sleep is required for a kid to grow, or all plants grow in night time because that is the energy of a moon. So like that, there are different energies which are applying on your body, on your mind, and on your conscience. That is what the astrological chart is. And astrologer is nobody than just a translator of that language into a layman's language. Layman in the sense, a language of a common person who doesn't understand anything of astrology. That is a plain and simple role of an astrologer. Okay, now we'll come to the karma in the sense, if there is a something chart given, now why I should not try to change it? Of course you can change the destiny. You know, karma is what decisions you take now, right now, good, bad, ugly, whichever way. That is the karma. Karma is not what has happened past. Karma is not what is going to happen in future. Karma is what the actions you are taking right now. If those are good actions, as per you, you are doing a good karmas. If those are bad actions, then still those are the karmas you are doing and undergoing, right? Now, when you decide to do a right karma with right thinking, that is when the positive movement in your chart happens. And that's the reason why many a times Prashna Kundali, which is the Kundali of your question at that moment of time, sometimes give different decisions and different results than your birth kundali. So many a
Oh,
times you can find that many a great people like Krishna, they have made their own destiny, right? Their free will was much more stronger than might be their kundali, and that's why they are great. Even Gurudev Jhulelalji also, a great destiny he changed for himself and for lot of other people. That's the way the person becomes a god.
okay, okay. So, so as a follow-up question to this, then what is exactly meant by prarabdh, and can prarabdh also be changed with your karmas?
Okay. Now, prarabdha is something which you cannot change, which is prarabdha is something like a fixed one. Like example, who should be my father? Who should be my mother? That is the prarabdha. Whether I will be born in India, whether I will be born as a human being or a dog or some plant or an ant, all are prarabdhas. Prarabdha are certain things which you cannot change, and a good astrologer can find out from your kundali what is the prarabdha for you. Now, it is always beneficial for an individual not to fight against that prarabdha, because the end result will be only uh, sadness and anxiety, right? So basically astrologer tells you how to move or how to live your life within that prarabdha, because there are many other instances, many other aspects of life which are changeable, right? And hence you should always remember to live within your prarabdha, but it is not the god's will, right? It is not the god's will. Okay, you should always think saying that this is my prarabdha, this is something bad, can I change it and try to make it good, right? There are many you can say murderers who have changed themselves upside down, right? Like example Valmiki. Okay, now Valmiki, as per the history which has been told to me, was the robber,
Yeah.
but he changed his prarabdha upside down, and that's why the people
I'll
became.
interrupt you there, Sachinji, to make this answer a little bit more interesting. Now, some people say that it was written in his prarabdh that he became from a daku, he became a sannyasi. So now there is a catch 22 here. So did he change himself, or was it a part of prarabdh? Is a big question which comes in many instances, not only with Valmiki, but many other things. So how do you figure that out? How do you answer that?
Okay, so let us understand the story of Valmiki. Okay, so Valyakoli was a robber. He used to kill people, and he used to have a big pile of heads, cut heads. So one
Right.
day, Sat Maharishis were moving on that path, and he threatened them. So one of it was Narad Muni, Maharishi Narad. So he told him that you are doing such a big crime, right? You are killing people. Okay, they have not done anything for you, but still you are killing. So why are you killing? So Valya Kodi, who was a thief and a murderer, he said, "This is for taking care of my family." So Narad Muni said, "You please go to your family and ask them whether they can share this bad, bad karmas of yours, because you are doing it
Hmm.
for them."
Yeah.
Now he went to his family and he asked them, saying that, "Can you take some share of it?" The family said no. And from there, a changed man came. Now please understand here. Now Narad Muni coming to him, yes, that was Prarabdha. But whether he should go and ask his family, no, that was his decision. Not to kill those Maharishis, that was his decision. And coming back changed person, of course, that was his decision, right? He should have come again the same person. So if you really look at this, we cannot really identify, but there are certain choices a person makes, and those are life changing choices, right? Those choices can be seen by chart, but the decision has to be taken by a person, and that's
Correct.
define his karma.
So there's
So
a very
basically,
subtle line of difference, which is not so easy to ascertain except the person himself by his change of attitude and his thinking.
Yes, sir.
So the idea is to always change your thought process and corresponding attitude towards life to bring positive actions or reactions from the planets. Honey, your next question.
so my next question is again a follow-up question. So if I understand my Kundli better, so does knowing my future would help me in, kind of changing the course of my life in a better way? Because it could also scare you if you know about the future. So it has both aspects to it. So whether if I know about my Kundli from beforehand, so would it help me in basically planning out the next course of action of my life in a better way?
Yes, absolutely. I will tell you one good small technique. Okay, you should know in which Rashi your moon or a Chandra should be, because that is your manas, that is your mind, right? And from that point, the moon keeps on changing every day, and your thoughts keeps on changing every day. You doing certain activities on those specific day, like your schedule, like many of
Hmm.
people do follow their planner, right? Plan. They have their plan written, saying that on this day I will do this, on this day I will do that. We need to little, we need to put little bit aspect of astrology into it. So you knowing your moon position is very important, and day to day life where the Chandra is in which Rashi, how many houses from your birth Chandra, and you can decide which actions you want to take. I will give you an example. There are certain days in a month where I don't do anything. Okay, because I know my manas, my mind will not be sufficiently subtle and supple. That means flexible. Okay, so it is always better to withdraw from the world for those time than
Right.
go out and fight. Okay, so a good astrologer, it's simple. It's just your planner, a plan,
Hmm.
okay, based on moon. Now moon can be seen from tithi. Okay, today is Trayodashi. Okay, so you know where moon can be approximately based on your natal chart. Okay, so basically Surya and Chandra, these are the two planets which are very important planets, which keeps on changing. Sun changes every month, moon changes every day. So you should know these two planets of your chart, and then plan your day-to-day life accordingly. And you will be, I will assure you, this is my experience, you will be very, very successful in your life, in your actions, if you start doing this.
That was
Okay.
brilliant.
So,
Honey,
so
any more
just
questions?
just one last question. It always fascinates me that how come a planet, I mean, sitting as in I'm sitting so far away from the planet in the sky, and how come that despite that distance, that planet is kind of defining the course of my life? Because as in all the astrology's base is about planetary positions and their movement, and we being such tiny particles of this universe sitting on earth, how come we get impacted by such distant planets, how they are impacting us?
Okay. Now, I can give you very confusing answer, okay, where you will get confused so much that you will keep on searching what exactly I meant for next 8-10 days. Or I can give very simplistic answer. Okay. The simplistic answer is, as I mentioned, if you just sit for 10 minutes and do nothing, that means your body is sthir. Your mind starts becoming sthir. Now that sthir mind, if you apply to your body part somewhere, like just concentrating on your hand, you will realize that there are many sensations without you doing anything going on in your body. Those sensations are nothing but energy flows. Okay. In sadhana world, it is called as jivan dhara or dhara pravaha. Okay. Just 10 minutes a day and you will start realizing. Now, when my body is made up of such energy flow, can the outside energies affect me? Yes. magnetic energy, right? Magnetic forces affect me. There is a magnetic therapy, right? Sound therapy is there, light therapy is there. Those are all nothing but the energy forces. Now, if the planets are such a huge entities and they are might be few light years away, but they do apply different energy influences on your body and your day-to-day activity. And those energy flows in your body triggers you to do certain things, which you can call it as the karma or prarabdha. So
Okay.
basically, when you are changing your energy flows, you can change your actions and the trigger which is coming out of it. If you realize that certain triggers are pushing you to do certain bad things or good things, you can change them. And that's the reason why they say that a person should learn to meditate for sure.
So meditation helps in channelizing the energy flow, basically in a
In,
positive
in
direction.
in realizing first, in knowing, and then if possible channelizing if we are fortunate enough.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Good. Thank you, honey. Vishal, you're next with your
Yeah,
battle guns
right,
for the
sure.
next 10 minutes. He's all yours. Sachin is
Right.
all yours.
Thank you for the opportunity, Dada. And it is having it's a great pleasure having being on this platform. So, Mr. Vaidya, I wanted to ask that like how we drive a car or when we buy a car or we buy any other thing, we have a user manual. So if it is applies in the same with astrology, what do you think? Like what is the user manual? What how we can use astrology? We can channelize astrology. How we can seek for astrology? And what are the basic like at least three, four, five elements where a person would be inclined to astrology? Or you must be knowing there are many people who say that I don't believe in astrology. Karma is everything, but those people also use astrology at the time of birth or at the time of death of their family members, even in spite of saying that I don't believe. So at some point of time we have to be connected with our true self and with the universe. And I think astrology is a very good connect with a person and a universe, or the energy, as you rightly mentioned. So if you can just throw some light on how to use Jyotish Vidya in the right manner and how to use Jyotish Vidya services. Because there are so many services. Some people talk about gemstones, some people talk about face reading, some people talk about palm reading. So what do you just for a layman to understand how do you start?
Okay. See, Jyotisha is been considered as the sixth limb of Vedas, right? So, if you look at Jyotish as a standalone, okay, what you are saying is right. Saying that I should see my future, I should see what I should be doing now, I should be doing tomorrow, I should be doing day after tomorrow. But if you link Jyotisha with Vedas or with our philosophical lineage or Sanskriti, it can have a great impact on your life. And those changes are subtle but much visible over a period of time. Like example, the basic thing what you should adopt or one should adopt is Panchanga at home. Panchang, which is a small document, people release it every year, right? So it talks about certain Panchanga is Var, Tithi, Karan, Nakshatra. Okay, so basically what happens is that these are the basic things which you should know on day-to-day basis. Okay, now what will happen because of that? Let us say I know what is my nakshatra. What will happen because of that? So now the next movement happens by knowing, and this question comes saying that okay, I know now today is what tithi, what I should do. So example, if today is Monday, right? So Monday is a English name. Somawar is the Hindu or Marathi or Hindi or our Indian name, right? So Soma is the moon. So day is the day of the moon, and the energies of moon are phenomenally high. So what is the meaning of moon energy? Moon energy is art. So today is the day. If at all you want to schedule learning any art form, today is the day you should learn. Now, I will tell you regarding you, Mr. Vishal. You do for transactions. Wednesday, Budhvar, Buddha is the planet of transactions.
Okay. Okay.
So if you schedule your transactions, basically negotiations, sign-ups, notaries,
Mm-hmm.
and everything,
Okay.
just see what kind of a changes. I'm not saying that other days you should just avoid. It is like
Yeah.
this:
Yeah.
unavoidable should be done, but which can be planned, you should plan it on Wednesday.
Okay.
Or example, if you want to do any banking transaction,
Hmm.
it is Thursday. So for
Okay.
my company, any banking transaction, payments only on Thursdays.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Nice.
Saturday is the day when you go out and see land, do hard work,
Hmm.
and Sunday is the day generally when you do government jobs. But nowadays Sunday is off everywhere, right? Because of the
Right.
European winters. Okay,
Right.
that is fine. So like that, based on the tithi, based on the vara, you can have different aspects of your life planned. Now these
Hmm.
are very subtle changes, right? You are changing your lifestyle, you are taking a decision, right, on that day. Those are
Right.
the karmas which will see you through. These are very small changes in your lifestyle. Like
Hmm.
example,
Hmm.
if your birth var is Sunday, you
Hmm.
should fast on Sunday. That is the day you should take your holiday weekly off and
Birthvar means
do
the
meditation.
day which I was born. Sorry to interrupt. The day which I
Yes,
was born is my
yes,
birthvar. Okay. Okay. Sorry.
yes. Okay, that is
Okay.
the day when you should take holiday and start looking inward, because that is the day, that is the sun for you, that is the energy point
Right.
for you,
Right.
right? So the concept of having Sunday as the fixed day as holiday was unheard of previously.
Right.
Okay, in Hindu lifestyle. Okay, so
Hmm.
basically that is the day you should know, and on that day you should do inward looking activities.
Right.
Okay, so like that,
Great.
a small changes you can start doing it in your life, which can have a far reaching impact. Only 5, right? Start
Hmm.
with 5, nothing else.
Hmm.
Learn about few characteristics of planets and the
Hmm.
day, and align yourself in your life. That's it. Okay,
Perfect.
like example, marriages on which day. Okay,
Hmm.
simple. Okay, spending time with family, which day and time. It is very
Hmm.
simplistic. Any good astrologer can tell you that.
Okay. Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very good.
And one more thing, like what is that one reason? Just I'm saying one reason that a person should go and approach a Jyotish.
Okay, now person should approach a Jyotishi for multiple ways, because we are sansaric people, right? We have a sansar,
Right.
right?
Right.
So the first thing Jyotishi should be approached for consultation is for muhurta.
Hmm.
Okay, for any good deeds you want to do, find the right combination of planets according to your birth chart.
Hmm.
That is the first service everybody, because muhurta is kind something like you can plan. There is nothing karma, nothing
Correct.
in that, right?
Correct. Correct.
Muhurta is the time, and then give sufficient time and space for Jyotisha to work. Like example,
Hmm.
marriages nowadays they say 14 or 15, give one day.
Right. Correct.
Come on, we say okay, 14, okay, or 15. Or we can tell, if some Jyotishis are accurate enough, they say get lost. Okay, choose
Hmm.
any. There is no need for
Hmm.
you to even consult astrologer. But if you
Right.
can give a good space for astrologer to work on, a long lasting impact can be made on that occasion,
Hmm.
right? Now second is when you want some guidance in life, right? When you are into like a two throng, there are two ways available. Okay, whether I should do job or I should do business. Okay,
Right.
whether I should marry this girl or that girl.
Correct.
Okay, whether I should shift to US or I should stay back.
Hmm.
Okay, those are the
Right.
things which you should ask astrologer as a consult. Okay, but of course, keep it in mind that there is a free will available. He is only suggesting you. If some astrologer says this is what will happen, that is absurd, because free will and applying free will makes the man great. That's how all great people, including Rama, Krishna, everyone, are great because of they applied free will abundantly.
Right. Right.
Okay. Now,
Correct.
third is when you are in trouble.
Hmm.
Okay, but that is the third, right? If first and second are done right, there is no chance
Right.
of third. Like
Right.
marriage is not happening, there is some
Hmm.
loan and kind of stuff. Now,
Hmm.
generally, people start other way around. When they are in trouble, they go first.
True.
Then they go for choosing, and then the last they go for muhurta.
Yes.
That should be avoided. Right? Really, it
Right.
should be avoided. Okay. Yeah.
So, one another quick question. So, as you know that lawyers are known for fighting a case in the court or guiding us to a legal process. Doctors are when you say doctor means if we are ill or having some problem with our body, we go to them. So there is a eligibility kind of a thing for each profession. So when you talk about astrologer, so if in good old days when I was a kid, what we used to know is that there is a family pandit which has been catering us for so many years. My father, my dadaji. So whatever problem, like how you said Maurata, we would just call the panditji and he will guide us on the same. But now what has happened since last 10, 15 years after this modernization and the media influence, the way the media has influenced, there are so many people who are not Brahmins, but they are very good astrologers. So what is the connection between a Pandit Brahmin or a non-Pandit doing astrology? Does it have any impact on the same, or it's just a science or a knowledge which is just infused by a person who knows it very well? Can you just throw some light on this, please?
Sure. Now I will talk about my experience. Okay. And this is the exact reason why I started hating all this thing, because not knowing what is going on. Okay. I hated it. I used to stand outside the temple when my family going inside, cursing their people, saying that what the shit they are doing, they don't understand anything about it. From there, by asking questions, uh, Dayalji said, he asked a lot of questions. By asking questions, over a period of time, getting answer within is what transformed me. Okay, so this is a good question. Okay, so I will just read one from classic literature which talks about what the astrologer should be. ज्योतिष शास्त्र विदग्धो गणित पटुर वृत्तवांश्च सत्यवचाह. दैट मीन्स ज्योतिष शास्त्र का नॉलेज होना चाहिए, knowledge of mathematics
Right.
and knowledge of science, okay, as a graha movement. Now, can you see this is computer, right?
Right.
So nowadays the first part is been taken care by computer,
Right.
right? Because computer is good in calculation, mathematics, you can find out, you can feed, and it will give you the answer.
Hmm.
Okay, but the next part is satyavachaha. Okay, he should be telling truth.
Right.
He should be leading a religious life,
Right.
and who is free from conceits. That means he should not deceive you. Like example, some astrologers take huge money, no problem, they have to run their household. But if they
Right.
feel that I need to please my native because he is giving me money, this is deceitful. I should not tell him this because he might feel bad. This is
Right.
deceitful. Taking money is
Right.
not a problem because astrologer also need to live the life. But
Yes. Yes. Of
there is a
course.
risk of becoming deceitful. So a person should avoid that. And the last one, who is well versed in Vedas, mantras, and tantras. Okay.
Right.
This is the classical work from Prashna Marga, written in I think the 9th century. Okay, in Kerala. And then it talks about one more part you asked. Okay, Mlechaha hi yavanastashu samyak chatram midam sthitam. Mlecha ho ya yavan ho. A good astrologer is the good astrologer. And if
Wow.
he is a good astrologer, even he is in the same line as Rishi. Rishi Vatteshi Pujjante Kim Punardeva Vidvaja. That means he can have a space in the same line of rishis. Now, what astrologer cannot do is Karmakand. Now, Karmakand earlier used to hate that word. Karmakand, I used to say that it is all nautanki. Okay, but when I start learning Veda, I realized that Karmakanda has got its own space, and that space, which has been technically taken over by Panditas because their teaching, their learning is in that same space. They learn
Right.
Vedas, they learn lot of classical text, and they know certain karma kand, right? So one of the way of doing this is splitting it between karma kand and astrology. Astrology is more of liberating you towards living a good life and getting liberated from your cycle of rebirth.
Right.
Karma kanda helps you doing that. And hence, earlier, when there was no good Jyotishis available, generally Panditjis used to do little bit of muhurtas, little bit of this and all. But
Right.
if you really, it is like specialization, right? Nowadays, specializations are important.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
little bit of specialization is important, and you should seek a specialized help from people.
Right. That's right. That's a good answer. Thank you so much. It was really nice. Dada, do I have time to ask one more question because 10 minutes are over?
We'll come back again with you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
I just have
Mona
one
is
comment to make here
astrologer.
that
Later on, I'll give you both, everybody, a chance.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Mona, now between one astrologer to the other, you all can talk your astrological language and we will listen to it with quite an interest. Please go ahead. Ronald, can she hear? We'll come back again. Ronald, can you ask your first questions to Sachinji? It's not very clear. It's quite interest.
Yes.
Cannot?
Thanks for this opportunity. Yeah. I think I'm audible, right?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Audible?
But it's breaking. Your line is breaking. Why?
Am I audible now?
yes, you are.
Sachinji, can you hear me?
Sachinji, Sachinji, can
Yes,
you
I can hear
reply
you.
her?
I can hear you. But it is breaking. Yeah, but it is little bit breaking. So I think your speed, internet speed is, I think.
Okay, I think there is a delay in the connection. Let me know if there is
Yeah,
some gap.
I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
I'm listening to the whole session like this, so I don't know what is wrong with the connection. Yeah, thanks. So Sachinji, as everyone know, we belong to the same line. Yeah.
It's a
I lost.
Yeah,
bad
maybe.
connection. Runal, I think you better check your line
So
and I'll come
Sachinji,
back to you again.
I want to discuss with you.
So
Ji,
Let her check.
meanwhile, till Munal
rejoin
joins,
it. You can first check out and again rejoin it. That is better.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'll continue. Sachinji,
Yes, sir.
I would like to know what is the aspect of mantra and gemstones? How does the mantra and gemstones affect one's lifestyle or kundali or whatever?
Yeah. So now we are moving. The question is related to solution, right? Somebody says,
Correct.
I will get robbed tomorrow. So what is the solution? So they say that store yourself or lock yourself in a room. And that is why Varamira is one of the writer of astrology become great, because he predicted that the king's son will die because of wild boar, Vara. So what king did was he locked that son inside a room, and then everybody was waiting for that evening to happen, because after day ends, that prediction will go wrong, right? So what happened is that day was almost coming to an end, and the princess just walked out of his room, just peeped outside. By that moment, there was, that decorative head of a varaha which was hanging on the wall, and that fall on his head, and he died there. And that's why astrologer Mihira is being called as Varaha Mihira. Okay. Now, but could something would have saved him? No, might be that was his prarabdha. But whatever can be changed can be changed. Yes. And that can be changed. The simplest is by your approach. Right? I mentioned, I am emphasizing again here. By changing your life small ways. Little bit harsh is yantra. Okay, there are few yantras which are prescribed. I have not studied them yet, but there are many good astrologers who prescribe yantras. Right? You must have seen it in many shops and all. You can find those yantras placed on the wall and all. Right? Little bit more advanced is mantra. Okay, because in Sanskrit, when the language was first documentized, they the uh, rishis said that dhvani shabda iti dhvani. That means shabdas, words are nothing but sound. And he gave the example saying that if गाय को हम गाय न बोलते हुए बैल बोलेंगे या गधा बोलेंगे, तो गाय चेंज नहीं होगी ना, उसका वैसे ही सींग रहेंगे, वैसे ही वो दूध देगी. So words are nothing but sound. And from there, the language was evolved in India. So there are certain sounds which are specific, having certain vibrations, which can help you out in certain aspects of your energy management. And there the mantra comes in. The very famous mantra is Panchakshari, which is Om
Which
Namah
one?
Shivaya. Right? Everybody knows this. Om Namah Shivaya.
Correct.
Okay. Or Om Namo Vasudevaya. Very famous mantras. Okay. Now, words, the meaning you are finding it is in your mind. But the person who has written those mantras didn't go by meaning. He went by the sound, the dhvani. Right?
In vibrations.
So,
Vibration.
correct. Somebody says they use this word like fat. Now, fat is the word which you are giving the meaning. Otherwise, it is just the vibration. So there are few good mantras, but then question is it like prescription? Somebody can just write a mantra to you and saying that, okay, now you do it from tomorrow. No. There are certain mantras which are made available by rishis for common man, like Panchakshari mantra. Anybody can do it. He can consider Shiva as his guru and do Panchakshari mantra. But there are very specific mantras sometimes which you need to get it from your guru. And from there, the guru comes in place. Now, guru is nothing but the energy of somebody teaching you something. And you should always pray that at the right moment, the right guru should appear for you. So, I'm against this concept of astrologer giving mantras, unless he himself has made it siddha. Now, what is the meaning of mantra becoming siddha? That means he understood little bit aspect of that mantra by himself. What does that mean? That means he has made at least 1,50,000 recitation of that mantra minimum, so that he understood little bit of that mantra, which gave him authority to pass it on to somebody with lot of riders saying that do this, don't do that, use it like this, don't do mantra japa on this day, that day, kind of a stuff. But running a mantra at the background forever is absurd. Okay, because when you recite it, it is your within where you are reciting it. You are not hearing it, you are reciting it within. Okay, so this concept of some mantras going on at the background is not applicable. But mantras are powerful concept, and they do work wonders in your life. That is my personal experience.
And what about gemstones?
Okay, now
Like
as I
people say
mentioned,
that Raj and all those things, where emerald, where sapphire. How does this fit in with Jyotish Shastra and the planets?
certain planets are given certain characteristics in astrology, including color, right? So let us say Mangal. Mangal is red in color, but that redness is different than Sun. Now, Sun, and that's why Ruby and Pola, I don't know what in English it has been called. Okay, those are coral. Okay, these are two different stones used. So, hence, based on the color and the characteristic, different stones are being assigned to different planets. They make correction within you when you wear it. The world doesn't change for you. Your thinking, your approach changes. That is first. But that is a very subtle change. Again, I will tell you. Very, very subtle change. If you are inward looking, then only you will realize that your approach changed. Are how come I took this approach like this? Because till today I never approached it like this. Right? So those approaches changes. But those are costly affairs. And hence astrologer should be well equipped enough to give different remedies based on a person's capability, including small changes in life, certain foods, right, certain temples, certain mantras, certain yantras, and then the stone, because stones are costly affair. Okay, and not necessarily every time the impact is immediate, but those are strong impacts by stone for sure. Now there are different category of stones also which are equivalent stones for common man which has been given. So it is not necessary that stones needs to be costly, right?
Needs
So
to
you
be
can
what?
have costly.
Ah,
Okay, costly. See, I will tell you one example. Okay, they say that based on your weight the stone size should be defined, correct? Now you go to the market, let us say I want Neelam. I say okay, I want Neelam. He said this is 25,000 rupees. I say okay, oh my god, 25 is too costly for me, can you give me some cheap? He say okay, this is 5,000 rupees. That is the wrong concept. You should not go and buy Neelam which is cheap, which has got some impurities, and he tell you there are impurities, there are certain flaws in this. Don't do that. There are different stones available which are comparatively cheap, has got similar impact like gemstones.
so does there's a very specialized science, right, of gemstones. Not every
Yes,
astrologer knows about these things.
yes, it's a specific science. This is a science of light and color. Okay, so astrologer should be equipped himself with alternatives, because not all people are coming with lot of money with them, but their problems are similar, right? A rich man can also have a marriage problem, a common man also can have a marriage problem. Okay,
Correct.
so astrologer should be equipped enough to give you the right solution which is powerful enough. But then people asked, if a rich person come, why the solution should be rich? No, it is not required. So it is the person who should tell what, in which way he wants to move. Can he spend 1 hour for mantra recitation? No. Okay. Can he carry this yantra with him? Oh, he forgets. Okay. Then put some stone into your ring so that you can carry it every time with you. Okay. Like that, it moves ahead. Okay. So it has got no specific, that if this is the problem, we are stones. If this is the problem, go for mantra. It is not like that.
Got it. Ronald, can you question? Continue the dialogue. Are you on? Or you are still having problems?
Yeah. Audible now? मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes.
Oh God.
Looks like today the stars are not in your favor.
सचिन जी
or
आवाज
what?
आ रही है मेरी?
Lot of
Okay,
disturbances.
I would like to discuss about Ishta Devata when we are talking about remedy. Can you please explain about the Devata?
This only astrologer can ask this question. So I will answer. Okay, but this is a good question. Okay, now what is Ishta Devata? When we are born, there are certain energies. If they flow to you,
Yeah.
your life will be moving in straight line as per your chart, and there will be a lot of scope for you to change. Now, in Rigveda, there are 33 devatas which are being defined. There are Dwadasha Adityas, 12 Adityas. Aditya is sun, Surya. Then there are Ekadasha Rudra, 11 Rudras. So sun is the celestial body, like Swargaloka. Okay. Below that is Rudra. Then there are Ashtavasu, 8 Vasus, which are into the earth paradigm. Then there is a Prajapati and Brahma. These are the basic gods, basic devatas which is being given. And for every person, there is a specific Aditya, and with Aditya associated a specific Jyotirlinga. And my experience is once a person knows and starts doing certain activities for Jyotirlinga, a lot of positive changes starts happening in his life. So Ishta Devata is nothing but taking a help of your astrologer and figuring out which energies you are lacking, which can be fulfilled by that specific Devata. He is finding it out, Ishta Devata, that is Aditya and Jyotirlinga.
Interesting. Ronald, you have one more question? We are coming to a close. Ronald, can you hear? No,
Your voice is
cannot hear.
I would like
Any
to get an example of Ishta Devata.
okay. So I will very quickly I will explain. Okay, I will share my screen and I will share my chart. Okay, I will strip myself completely open to you all. Okay, so can you see this? This is my chart. So this is called as Aruda Lagna. So from Aruda Lagna, 5 or 9th position, where from Moon it is in Kona, that is 1, 4, 7, 10. So from here, 9th position is Mesha, and from Moon, 4th position is Mesha. So Mesha associated with Mesha, Jyotirlinga is my Jyotirlinga, which is Rameshwar. Right? So this is the example of figuring it out. It is based on Aruda Lagna and Moon. From Aruda Lagna, 5 positions or 9th position, and for Moon, either 4, 7, 10th or 1st, whichever is common spot, the associated Jyotirlinga of that Rashi is the Jyotirlinga for you. Does that answer?
That's it's quite technical and not for everyone. Not everybody can understand that. Probably Brunel can understand. Did you understand that, Brunel? Did she understand that? So we will continue in the session later on.
Uh, I will just interrupt you here, sir. Why I explained this is because I don't want people to go to astrologer and their own astrologer and ask saying that, tell me my Jyotirlinga. And then that astrologer might know or might not know. If he might not know, he should figure it out by this input or any other input. Okay, and that's why I just gave a glimpse or a hint of how to find it out, so that any person who watches this video can go and give a hint to his astrologer saying that it is based on Arudha Lagna and Moon. Okay, then his astrologer can figure it out. I don't want people to get misled.
We have one question from Ronald. How does mundane astrology affect individuals' life prediction? Can you answer that?
5 planets, yeah, 5 planets sitting together into the Rashi, which is Capricorn or Makar, and Guru, which is a positive planet, and Sun, which is in the next Rashi. You know what is going on, right, in life, in everybody's life, right? Lot of catastrophic changes are on the timeline, and positive outcomes are also planned, right? So now, if we know, can we plan? Yes, I planned my investments in share market, of course. Okay, based on this, but this is too sansaric. Can we really plan? Yes. So one of the important aspect of astrology is Siddhanta mm, and Hora. Siddhanta is Ganit. Okay. So basically, mundane astrology is very important part which talks about how outwardly you can live, whether there will be war, whether there will be famine, whether there will be good rainfall. All these things affect you, right? Nowadays in cities it doesn't affect me much because prices remain same. But if you go little bit interior, a farmer or a common man who fills his household, his groceries once in a year, he can plan it well. So mundane astrology plays a major role in deciding broadly how you want to live your life in society. Whereas Hora, which is your predictions, are specific to you. Now, example, can somebody would have predicted Corona? No. Can somebody would have predicted disruptions? Yes. If somebody would have predicted disruptions, can people plan their marriage during that time? No. Correct. The same way. But then there are astrologers which are present in bits and pieces at the different places. So they are not known. Okay. And hence, having a good astrologer around is beneficial always, like having a good family doctor around. Does that answer, Bruno?
Yeah, I will not.
So example, I
proceed.
can predict.
We are running out of time. Can you answer the last question, Sachin? Yeah, can
Okay.
you
Now,
continue?
yeah, like example, uh, can I take a chart of India once in a year and predict the future of what is going on or what will happen in India? Yes. Can I plan and predict something for let us say Hong Kong? Yes. Okay. See, why I am refraining myself from doing it is because Hong Kongians needs to protect themselves, for next 2.5 years and be little bit conservative in their plan as per the chart of Hong Kong. That much only I can tell, and I don't want to tell further because I don't want to go into some kind of a fear psychosis. But a protective environment, protective cover should be there for Hong Kongians for next 2.5 years.
For 2.5 years.
Yes.
What kind of protection should we do? What kind of remedies should we follow?
No remedies. This is outward prediction. So insurance should be full. You should a little bit cautious dealing with governments. There can be sudden changes in rules and regulations. There can be external influences coming from other governments. Okay. So that way. Okay. That way.
So we have to be alert and try to be more cooperative rather than rebellious or challenging.
And then little bit flexible in your plan so that any sudden changes can get accommodated.
Okay. Thank you, Sachin-ji. It was a pleasure to have you and listen to you. I'm sure Vishal, Hani, we all enjoyed. Narayan-ji,
Thank you very much
for being
Sachin-ji.
there. Thank
And,
you very much.
thank you
And
much.
I'll request now Narayan-ji play the song of Hani Kamdani and end the show.
Yeah,
Narayan,
please, who
अल्लाह जे छामे राजिया अल्लाह जे कैसा राजिया अल्लाह जे छामे राजिया अल्लाह जे कैसा राजिया कोई राजा को फकीर बाजीगर जी बाजिया कोई राजा को फकीर बाजीगर जी बाजिया अल्लाह जे छामे राजिया अल्लाह जे कैसा राजिया अल्लाह जे छामे राजिया अल्लाह जे कैसा राजिया कैखे लख डई थो लाल करे कैखे कख डई कंगाल करे लख डई थो लाल करे कैखे कख डई कंगाल करे दोह असांजा की न ॾिसे शल पंहिंजी महर करे दोह असांजा की न ॾिसे शल पंहिंजी महर करे अल्लाह जे छामे राज़िया अल्लाह जे कैसा राज़िया अल्लाह जे छामे राज़िया अल्लाह जे कैसा राज़िया तौबा करे तकबर छड़ कर निवड़त जरे जरे तौबा करे तकबर छड़ कर निवड़त जरे जरे कहलाए थो कूड़ करी वेंदे खाली हथण करे अल्लाह जे छामे राज़िया अल्लाह जे कैसा राज़िया अल्लाह जे छामे राज़िया अल्लाह जे कैसा राज़िया पीर पैगंबर के ई विया वेंदो हर को सफ़र करे पीर पैगंबर के ई विया वेंदो हर को सफ़र करे हाकिम हुक्म हलाए या विया ज़ालिम ज़ुल्म करे अल्लाह जे छामे राज़िया अल्लाह जे कैसा राज़िया ढकंदो रहो हरदम हुनका जो कंहिंखां की न ढके, ढकंदो रहो हरदम हुनका जो कंहिंखां की न ढके, यारी रख रांझण हुन सां जेको दम दम कदुर करे, अलाह जे छा में राज़िया, अलाह जे कैसा राज़िया, अलाह जे छा में राज़िया, अलाह जे कैसा राज़िया, कोई राजा को फकीर बाज़ीगर जी बाज़िया, कोई राजा को फकीर बाज़ीगर जी बाज़िया, अलाह जे छा में राज़िया, अलाह जे कैसा राज़िया, अलाह जे कैसा राज़िया.
Very good. Thank you, honey. Keep on singing and prepare some new songs for next time so we can put it on the show and people can appreciate your voice and music
Sure,
and give
sure.
more
Thank you.
prominence
Jai
to our
Jhunelal.
Sindhi songs.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Sachin ji, thank you very much for coming to our show and hope to see you again sometime in India. And Ronald, thank you once again. Vishal,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Dada. Thank you very much for the
God bless you.
opportunity.
Thank you again. Honey, thank
Thank
you
you.
once
Thank
again.
you.
And
Jai Jhunelal.
we'll talk again. Take care. Naranji, okay, you can end the show.
Yeah. अल्लाह जे छा में राज़ी आहे, अल्लाह जे कैसा राज़ी आहे. भाई जेको बि हूंदो उहो जीअं त असांजे ज्योतिषनि ॿुधायो कि जीअं प्रारंभ हूंदो उहो ई थींदो. त प्रारंभ में अगरि हूंदो त उहो हर हिकु माण्हू खे घर वेठे मिलंदो. हिकिड़ी दफ़ो बालो ऐं मर्दानो गुरु नानक सां गॾु विया पिए त बाले चयसि भई हीअ रोटी खणी पियो वञे, ही कंहिंजे नसीब में आहे. त वॾी आखाणी आहे, मां शॉर्ट में चवंदुसि. त हुन चयसि हीअ त कुते जे नसीब में आहे. चई भई हू माण्हू पियो खणी वञे, कुते जे नसीब में किनो. हुतां वरी हुनखां माना कौआ उससे रोटी छीन के चला गया. कौआ रोटी छीन के उसने आगे गिरा दी और आगे वो कुत्ता जा रहा था, उसने कुत्ते ने खा ली. तो वापस आगे श्री गुरु नानक जी और बाला और मर्दाना आए तो बाला ने मान लिया कि अरे आपने तो बोला था भाई ये रोटी कुत्ते के नसीब में, और सही में कुत्ते को मिल गई. ये तो आदमी लेके जा रहा था, लेकिन देखो कौवे ने रोटी झपटी, लेकिन कौवे के नसीब में नहीं थी, कुत्ते के नसीब में थी, तो कुत्ते को ही मिली. तो कहते हैं दाने दाने पे लिखा हुआ है खाने वाले का नाम. तो उसी तरह ज्योतिष विद्या जैसे बोलती है भाई प्रारंभ है और गणनाएं करते हैं, वो गणनाएं भी पूर्व जन्म से प्रेरित है. तो आज का ये बहुत अच्छा एपिसोड हुआ और मैं तो थैंक्स दूंगा सबसे पहले दादा दयालन हरजाणी साहब को कि जो विश्व के कोने कोने से ढूंढे हुए हीरे लेके आते हैं और इस प्रोग्राम के थ्रू नॉलेज पूरे विश्व को हम लोग बांट रहे हैं. मैं थैंक्स कहूँगा श्री सचिन जी से, मृणाल जी से, विशाल वाधवानी जी और हनी पमनानी जी, जिन्होंने इतना एक अच्छा सुंदर भजन हमें सुनाया. और लास्ट में हर दफे की तरह इस छोटी सी प्रार्थना के साथ मैं आज का ये एपिसोड पूरा करूंगा. हे भगवान, हम सबको सुबुद्धि दो, शक्ति दो, निरोगता दो, अपना अपना कर्तव्य पालन करें, सदा सुखी रहें. हे भगवान, हम सबको सुबुद्धि दो, शक्ति दो, निरोगता दो, अपना अपना कर्तव्य पालन करें, सदा सुखी रहें. इस प्रार्थना में हम लोग सब सद्बुद्धि, शक्ति और निरोगता, अगर ये तीन होंगे तो बाकी सब अपने आप आएगा. अगर सुबुद्धि होगी, शक्ति होगी और सबसे बड़ी चीज निरोगता होगी तो बाकी सब अपने आप मिलेगा. इसी के साथ एक बार फिर से सभी जो धन्यवाद. जय झूलेलाल. वरी गॾिजंदासीं हिकु नए एपिसोड सां तव्हां सभिनी सां जाम जल्दी. जय राम जी की. हरिओम तत्सत.